Hi, everybody. Dave Woodson, with the Prime Real Estate, and I am live as we happen here, and Andrew Gavin is live as well. Tonight we're going to talk about work-life balance, and we're doing something new tonight. We get to play with different things tonight too. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, I'm hoping everybody else can too, and we're starting something new, very new tonight. We're using Be Live. It's not new. It's something that's new to me. It's new to everybody else, I would assume, at some point.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Can you
you went
still
out.
find out what?
You went out, and then you came back.
I'm gonna go over to the group real quick. See,
Yeah,
I'm playing with it.
wait. You're going in and out.
I wonder because I'm switching off the page. Am I live now? Can you hear me?
I'm hearing you in and out. You're here, and then you're not. Can you hear
Really?
me?
I hear you perfectly.
I haven't cut out once.
Not at all.
Huh? You're going like you're just talking, and then it gets like a little wah, and then it goes away, like dead silent.
I wonder if it's because I'm switching from page to page or something.
What do you mean page to page? No, it did it right now.
I heard it. I heard that time because I'm still on Wi-Fi. I'm still in the apartment.
Oh my God, dude.
So you're going to hear a train tonight at some point, I'm sure. And
What are we talking about?
Work-life balance.
Man, okay.
And I suck at work-life balance.
All right, let's play. There's no such thing in my opinion.
And there's not, because Saturday I was at a wedding, texting during the wedding.
Are we live?
Yes, we're live. We better be live. Yeah, people are seeing us. See, Val said I look good.
Oh, interesting.
Mike Holbrook said something here funny. Can you see it?
It's weird. I see that, but I don't get to see. I gotta get on Facebook and go over here.
I see the I see the comments as they happen. So.
Well, that's not fair.
But it's the whole new system. Are you not? I guess I don't see what you see on your end.
All I see is your screen, like your background, which everyone else is seeing.
No, Mike, I did not say sexting at a wedding. I was texting at a wedding with my client and the other agent and what have you. And my wife sitting there covering the phone up. The phone rang in the middle of the. I paused. I muted my phone, but I forgot to mute my watch. So my watch rang. And my daughter heard me, and she's like, "Oh my God!" I'm embarrassing my daughter and everything like that. So, and it is hard to have a work-life balance. I mean, while I drive, I know it's a bad thing to do, but I mean, I can text and drive like this, and text in the other hand, and hell, I even did on Facebook live as I drive. I do videos live as I drive.
And when I was 30 and I still had my sales business and I was traveling from here to Arizona all the time, I'd get in my car and text 3-4 different people the whole way for 6 hours. My car on cruise control and never had a problem. Now I'm not a fan. Like in the last year, I just leave my phone down. Like I don't even mess with it. I don't know why. I sort of lost that skill.
I try to keep mine down, and I try to keep mine down a little bit. What the hell?
It's your dog.
Okay. It's not coming through the live feed at this point. But anyway, I try to keep mine down, and it doesn't always work that way. If my daughter's in the car, she's my assistant. She'll text for me, and she'll do it verbatim pretty well. But generally, if I'm in the car alone, I'll pull over. I don't have to be a long one, or I'll try to call the person. So listen, I'm driving, so I can't text. So let's do this by voice.
Yeah, I feel like I talk too loud when I'm using my Bluetooth in my car.
Oh, I know I talk too loud. Everybody tells me I talk too loud.
I've never had that, but I feel like I do. Of course, I get excited. I always talk
And I
about
talk with my hands. So I talk with my hands.
while you're
I
driving.
drive. Yeah.
Nice.
Even though they can't see me talk, I'm still talking with
Yeah.
my hands.
So work-life balance, what do you think is the ideal situation? And I mean, and
Well, yeah.
I actually asked Maribel this question today: is there such thing as a 40-hour work week, a 9 to 5 anymore? I mean, does that exist?
Well, there is a statistic. I mean, a dozen years ago at this point, when BlackBerries were huge, companies had no trouble giving out BlackBerries to workers because the average worker would work an extra hour and a half to 2 hours a day if they had a BlackBerry. And now that we
Right.
have iPhones and Androids, and nobody the BlackBerries don't exist, it's nothing for me to put in a 12-hour day just on my phone sometimes.
Yeah. So my buddy sold his company to Google. As he had a software that they built that it's one of the ones that kind of crawls backwards and tells everyone what we've been looking at. Like, it's a porn narc basically. But he went there and then we go visit him, and they have the campus up in San Francisco. I mean, it's crazy. Free food, free whatever, free. I mean, it's crazy. Like, you have Starbucks just right there, absolutely free. But they get, you know what? No one ever leaves for lunch. They just walk downstairs, walk back up to their office, and they're right back at it. And they're
I mean,
it's
I
great.
work I work right above a Buffalo Wild Wings. I mean, there's days I don't leave the office at all until 4 o'clock.
Okay, that's crazy.
5 houses, and
Yeah.
they know me so well at the B Hubs. I can take my alcohol up from the restaurant to my office, and they don't care as long as. Yeah, it's a kind of a sad commentary on my life, I would think.
So what's for your wife? What would be the ideal time for you to stop working?
Probably 7 o'clock at night.
Okay, so you're already busted.
Well, yeah, Mondays are the exception, but there's days like today. I might not get home to 8 o'clock after showing houses. I might not get home to 9 o'clock from showing houses. So I'll pick my daughter from school, bring her home, go back out and show houses,
Right?
and then not get home till 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. And if I want to wind down and stop and have a drink, if I
Right?
got mom and I had 2 contracts come through. So I had to go, I mean, I've got internet at my mom's house now at this point because we all know the situation we had with her, and more time at her house, and not feel like I'm neglecting work because now I have internet there. So even while I was visiting her today, I still 2 counters. But what's funny is the other agent that I've sent them to has ignored the email at this point.
What? It hasn't even showed acceptance.
I texted him. He's not acknowledged the text, and he has not opened the email yet at this point. But I've given him till 9 o'clock tomorrow night.
Okay.
So I mean, I'll give you that. But my client's interested. I've already answered questions from another realtor to my client whose house they showed today because we think we're gonna get it off. And what is the ideal? I mean, yeah, it'd be nice if I got home at 7. She gets home at 7. Generally, it would be nice to be able to sit down and not be able to have to worry about answering the phone or answering a text. But you both know, but you and I both know if I got a Zillow lead, I'm calling it
So
up until 10 o'clock at night.
what about, okay, so you get home at 7. Um, you're happy that works for you. You're in the office by 7, 8 o'clock.
I take my daughter to school. Usually in the office by 7. If I go to the office, I'm in the office by 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning.
All right. So you're talking,
The
that's
first
60
one,
hours. That's 60 hours away from that. That's a long week in itself.
But I don't feel like at the end of the week, and that might be 6, 7 days a week. Because
Yep.
I showed houses Saturday, wrote a contract Saturday. Did I show houses yesterday? Yesterday is the only day that I technically did not show houses, but I wrote. So, like even now, I just got an alert to sort of showing one of my houses tomorrow. I mean, that can wait until after I get done because I know they'll accept it. So I mean, it is. Do I try to? You're asking the question. Do you take a certain day off the week? I try to take Wednesdays off, but I usually end up working the Wednesday. I'll do paperwork.
I think Mike.
Are you
What's that?
hearing me? But I guess you are.
I heard like this much of it. Just the tip. It's like he just gave me the tip, and then that was it.
Is it me or is it you?
It's not me. Hey,
It's got to be my Wi-Fi.
all right. Let's hear from anybody still watching. Whose voice
That
is
froze.
drowning out? Me or Dave, or both of us?
Say it again. Because I was freezing up there, and you're a cyclone on me.
I want to know how they can hear us.
Well, they seem to be answering the questions. Val tried. Mike Holbrook hears us both.
Jessica's
you spelled
nice.
here wrong. No,
She's nice.
Jessica's usually mean.
We're both fine. Jessica, what's your perfect work week if everything just went the way it was meant to? Are you home by 5? You off at 2:30 so you can get to the soccer game? What?
I would love to do a 9 to 5 every day or 8 to 5 every day. But at some point you're asking someone else to do your heavy lifting. You're asking a buyer's agent to go show houses at 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night.
So how much does that cost you? In your neck of the wood, that costs you $3,000, right? If it goes to contract.
Well, I mean, it's going to cost me. I don't have a team yet, but I'm thinking it's going to cost me at least 30% of my commission or 40% of my commission.
Yeah, and so right. So you said the normal price there is 150.
Yeah, 150. My average last year was 190, 197, almost 200.
So that's so to be off by 7, you're giving up $4,000.
Yeah.
$2,000. Let's say $2,000 because it's half. Let's say
$2,000 a shot. But in the ideal world, you're spending the time that you're not out showing houses, facing clients. You're acquiring clients.
Wait, how do you figure that? If you're home watching TV, you're watching Game of Thrones with your wife at 7:30. How are you getting clients?
What you're not doing the all the other stuff for them. You're actually out lead generating. You're being the rainmaker.
Okay.
So if you're rainmaking, you're bringing in more business, one for yourself, one for your team, and things like that. So that's one way to achieve a work-life balance is to create a team.
I'll tell you, the team that I'm on, I don't see my team leader living an easy life. He works harder than I do. I mean, I don't know that that's the answer.
Is he single?
He is.
So I mean, that's a little bit different. If I was single, I'd run and gun all the time.
Mm-hmm.
If I wasn't chasing skirt, I'd be chasing leads.
You should have that same drive when you think of coming home to your wife, Dave. You should be chasing her just as hard.
Oh,
That's
she
rude,
likes to
Jessica.
talk.
You know what? I agree with Jessica. She's right, but it's because I'm very efficient. I get things done the right way the first time. I mean, it takes Mike Holbrook 90 hours to get through a week. I mean, that's crazy. Like, how can that happen?
No, I'm not going to go there with Mike. But Mike's a nice guy.
Yeah, definitely he works slow.
But let's kind of switch gears a little bit. Maybe if we can we rely on tech more to take our workload off? I mean, now we have zip forms and hello sign, things like that. So we're not chasing clients to get them to sign things. We can email them and get their signatures. I mean, but
Right.
that only is creating more work for some people because there's some agents who don't know how to do that.
I don't know, man. What's the new thing is
I
what
mean,
the messenger bots. That's the hot tech follow up thing right now.
I
And
got told to stop today. I mean, I called a lead. I called a lead. 10 minutes later, I texted the lead, and they told me to stop. I'm like, you know what? You were buying a shit house anyway for less than what I should have been going out there chasing you for. I have no trouble. Thought it. I
so
didn't tell them that.
that's so awesome, man.
And it never fails. Whenever you break your commandment, whenever you break one of your commandments, you say, I'm not going to sell a house level less than 125, and you get a lead for 94,000 and you chase it, you will always instantly regret chasing that 94,000. So what else?
Ooh, that's a good question, Ron. Ron, do you have Rex Realty in your area? Um, they're they have a bot inside their open houses instead of a human. But I don't know that. I mean, when are we going to get? I don't think we're ever going to get to the point where you know consumers are going to view houses by themselves. I just don't see it happening.
Aren't we kind of there now by with Open Door?
Yeah, but that's so small. I mean, it's not adopted
Oh yeah, I
nationally.
agree. I agree that it's small, but isn't that the gateway drug at this point?
I guess. I mean, we'll see. I don't know. I don't know. Uh, I mean, if I was a seller, I would. If we're getting to the point, let's think about this. If you're getting to the point where technology is so efficient to allow us to do everything else we need to do other than engage with our clients, be at open houses, I mean, we're we're adopting one technology at a time to fix one small problem. Someone's going to step back and say, "Oh, well, you have all 10 of those. We don't need you anymore. We'll just keep those going." And they all fix one problem for you, and you're not there. You know,
Yeah, but
it's gonna happen.
they still need us to negotiate and things like that. But I agree with you 100%. At some point, we're going to work ourselves out of a job, just like everybody else in America. So we're all going to be flying around in our Star Trek spacesuits at some point in this the nice little utopian world where no one
So,
has money, but everything is given to us for free. When it's
all right.
bullshit. But anyway,
So if for you guys in YouTube, Dave, in the last three deals that you guys have been involved with, I don't care if they all happened, they all closed yesterday or over the last 3 years. How much money do you feel that you negotiated in your client's favor off of list price, either buy or sell, like
the last
anything?
two I sold one for full list.
So no negotiating. You just got what they were asking
Full
for.
list. Hold on a second. Give me 1 second. I think my dog got loose.
Their dog.
Abby, go find out where your dog's at.
Dude, what if he's playing by the train? Dave's dog is playing by the train.
Okay, we're all good. One dog was barking, was confusing me. Ron's right. You only have 4 jobs: prospect, list, negotiate, and show. But if showing's taking up most of your time, Ron, when do you find time to prospect, list, and negotiate? That's the work-life balance we're all trying to achieve here. The work-life balance: to prospect more, to list more, to negotiate more, and let someone else show it for us. Ultimately, that would be the ideal lifestyle for me, anyway. So I can prospect more, list more, negotiate. If I had to, but even then, I could teach the buyer's agent to negotiate. So I don't even need to be in the room with them.
You think you could teach? No. Look, this is two people you can't teach someone to negotiate like you negotiate. You could, but it would take a lot of repetitive training over and over in a very compact amount of time. Like you would have to be going over this daily, twice, 2-3 times a day, over and over, so they knew like the back of their hand what you would think in that same situation. And even if you're a mega agent doing 150 deals a year, that's still only averages out to 2 deals a day or something.
Ron closed 160 hours last year, 160 houses last year, right, Ron?
Nice.
He's closed 160 so far this year. And Ron's my neighbor. Ron's, is in Illinois, South Chicago. We got an office over there in Cherville, Indiana. He's got about 30 years on me.
So you just have to wait.
Can't you tell by the look on his face? No, I mean.
Well, he looks happy in his picture.
He does look very happy. If I was closing 160 homes a year, I'd be looking fucking happy myself. Hey, see the smile on my face? Ron's gonna be on the show here very soon. He doesn't know it yet.
Yeah. Yeah. Valerie says real estate's a emotional purchase. I agree 100%. I have clients in Germany right now, and they're looking at things and they're trying to map this out and they're trying to figure out the dollars. And at the end of the day, every single major decision comes back to some emotional situation about their personal life and how the house affects it, or how the sellers are reacting to their requests. And it's rather interesting to watch this because I'm looking at it in a specific lens of trying to understand, can you really buy a house based on as someone that's going to live in your house? Owner occupied is the goal. I don't think you can buy it as a investment. We're gonna have to block Jessica. Is there some way we could do that? She's just mean.
We could just ignore her. I'm sure she's used to that.
Hey, are you seeing this? Do you know? So Be Live seems to be a delay. It's interesting because I'll see her comment come up in Facebook Live on the sidebar, and it's still a delay before it gets over into the Be Live thing.
There was always a delay. Even when we did with Blue Jeans, there was always a delay. And it's usually 10 to 15 seconds.
Right. Ron's getting all protective. I do 100, no buyer. Wow, Valerie's busy. Look at that. No buyer agent, no listing agent.
Valerie is my broker.
No transit. What?
Valerie is my broker.
Oh, gee.
And she does it, and she's got to babysit me, so we all know how busy she is.
Right. Oh, no worries, Ron. No worries.
Ron, we don't take offense to anything. Neither does Jessica.
Right, I don't have any feelings, Ron, so we're good.
Oh, by the way, tonight's wine is Los Altos de Plata. It's a Malbec, obviously. There it goes, right there. The wife wants some. So please don't drink the whole bottle tonight.
So I don't think, so as I was saying before when we start talking this, I don't believe that the work-life balance exists anymore. I don't believe the 40-hour work week exists anymore. There's, unless you're just have a job as in an hourly wage, like let's say a retail environment that's open 10 to 6, 10 to 10, and you fill in those slots, which is, there's definitely jobs like that still. But
there are. My brother works one. My wife's an actuary, so she works 9 to 5, but she's there. She leaves the house at 7 o'clock every morning and gets home at 7 o'clock every evening.
I mean, you're looking at mechanics, construction workers. Those guys are 60-hour weeks, and they're not complaining about it. I mean, they might not like it, but they're happy to get it because they want the money. They want the 10 extra hours a week,
and they get overtime. We don't get overtime.
Right.
I mean, we only get paid. We get paid for the fruit of our labor. I mean, I've always said you can tell who's busy now is because they're busy 6 months from now.
Yeah. Yep.
So, or 3 months from now. I mean, 3 months ago I was busting my ass, doing things on Zillow, doing things on Facebook, and now I got four new listings, two pending. I got 3 under contract, and I'm flat out gunning and running and gunning right now, and I'm busy as hell because my parents are they're going through all the stuff they're going through. So, but is there true? But let's go back to Let's go back to the idea of the 4-hour work week. Is there such thing as a 4-hour work week?
Is there ever such thing? Have you read that book? Because it's not legitimately 4 hours. It's a mindset.
Right. I read the book twice now, and it's not ever legitimately 4 hours. It like you said, it is a mindset. But can we have that same mindset as a realtor?
Yeah, but because of what we're doing right now, these are the things, these are the tools that we have we have access to allow us to do things in a way. I would rather work from 7 to 9 on Tuesday and Thursday, maybe next Monday, if I get the hours off in the day that I want. I love that. Like for me, that's work-life balance. Being able to, shuffle things around. And you know what? We don't work a job where you can actually count the hours, so I just don't see how it's possible in real estate. You can enjoy. And are you there? You look frozen. You're frozen, aren't you? Nope. Oh, there you go. But I just don't think. I think the way we run our lives is, work-life balance is being happy in your life. To me, not how many hours a week I'm working.
And I don't mind working the hours, but when it comes time to take an afternoon off, I wish that people could respect my afternoon off, but they can't, but they don't, but because they don't know that, hey, I'm trying to go watch my daughter's band recital, or I'm trying to just not take calls for the next hour and a half because I'm getting a massage.
Sure.
So I shut. I mean, there legitimately time I shut my phone off. And when I turn it back on, I dread the deluge of calls and texts that I know that are going to be there for the last 2 hours.
Oh man, that's funny. Yeah, no. Well, so okay, look at Jessica. She said, about shutting herself down from clients and work, but not taking texts or calls, but. What's the difference? What's the difference if I'm sitting in the living room with my wife and I see a client text come through. It's 8:45. I know the answer because I know everything. And why not text them? Why not answer that question? And let them go. Maybe, and I don't believe when those come in that the clients are even expecting an answer back. I think they're like us. Like they have this in their hand, and they're just reacting. Oh, I'm going to shoot that off, and then they wait. But that's no different than if you text me and we're joking about something we saw on Facebook or a client or whatever. My wife doesn't know. She just sees me playing on the phone. She's mad either way. And
Right.
I mean, and then it's like, well, we weren't talking. We we're in the middle of something. We weren't making love or, candlelight dinner or anything. Like it's so why not do the work? And then,
And it was kind of my excuse over on Saturday during the wedding. Man, I had to do this. It was a contract negotiation time. It was that we'd offered, and they rejected our offer because we wanted to know is there an opportunity to put another offer in. So we had to know right away, and the guy couldn't just get up and walk away because it was an open air wedding. I just couldn't get up and walk out. Everybody in the whole church would have saw me. And so I'm texting the other agent, and who does not text very well because he's one of these agents who just doesn't text, and he doesn't respond to his email on the week. He doesn't like to do his emails on the weekend. He's a guy who doesn't like to work on the weekends, and he's a top, or used to be a top producer. He might close 50 or 60 homes this year.
Yeah, that's good. I've seen Jessica's comment about putting your phone away. Who does that? Like, that's painful.
I know every night.
To disconnect
I know.
and talk and just talk to your family? Are you crazy? My marriage would be over. Like, heck no. That'd be nuts.
I know when
it looks like you've changed a little bit, so your kid's probably not young again. Seeing that, were you any happier then than you are now, based on work and how your life is? Obviously, your life's changed too, but but how is that? Like, how do you feel mentally about that?
I'm gonna try to invite Ron onto the show real quick.
Oh, here we go. Here we go, Jessica, with the kids. That's not. The kids want to play with Dad, Jessica. Mom gets them in trouble, so they want to play with Dad. So yeah, on the normal thing, I would believe, is the kids want to play with Dad after work.
Hey, Ron, I just invited you. This should work. If it doesn't work, then I screwed up something.
We're having this conversation. So my wife's, she's high school principal. She's probably at school by 6:30, and I think that it's rare that I see her at home before 6:30. Rare. And if it is, it's because she's got an appointment to go do some sort of maintenance. So she's in and out, or she's going to meet some of her friends or something. But it's, so she's putting in 12 hours, 60 hours a week. That's just that. Then if she's got,
but we understand she wants to spend time away from you, though.
Yeah, I know. So, maybe that's a good thing. Like, you figure that out. Like, so maybe we shouldn't marry people that we love. Maybe we should, this is a good idea. Like, if women married people that annoyed them, can you imagine how many women would be chasing me? Be excellent. But, but she's got a regular job. I mean, she's paid for 40 hours a week, or actually she's paid for 50. But, she still has to go to, games and supervisions and be at the district for training Saturday, sometimes Sunday, award ceremony. I mean, it's never ending. And, you think that as a teaching job, well, they work 7 to 3, get off, and then they have summers off too. It's a perfect job. From where I sit, it's crazy. I get up at 5 with her just because I feel guilty.
Yeah, but you go right back to bed when she hits the door, though, don't you?
No, I can't do that. I usually hit the gym. I'll hit the gym, but it's good. And you figure it out. I mean, is the gym part of your work day? Do you consider that part of your work day, or is that your personal time? Do you know what a gym? It's the place where you go work out, Dave.
I used to be in the bodybuilding club at Purdue, so I understand the gym.
Yeah. Dad's cooked dinner, coaches football after school. See? Dad's cooked dinner. I don't know. I don't. Do they make stoves for men? I don't know that they do. I don't think I've never seen one. Like,
It's an open pit with flame because we
yeah.
cook over fire.
Well, I'm left-handed, so like the stove's designed for a right-handed person, so it's really hard for me to cook correctly. So I stay away.
Yeah, I'm sure you should stay away from it though.
That's
But I
good.
remember when we first had our daughter and my wife went back to work. I mean, I was working in town, so I would take the daughter to school or take her to pick her from daycare and things like that. And I was also cooking dinner a lot of times.
Right?
Now the roles have kind of switched a little bit. Where my wife's cooking more, but I still take my daughter to school and pick her up most days of the week. But when we move, she'll be walking to school if we ever move. But the roles never switched back to where I was she we'll be sharing the cooking duties a little more. She heard that she's gonna hold me to that at this point. But
I
I
think
cook, Richard. I cook. I'm a much better cook.
I think Jessica points out that real estate is or being a realtor is a lifestyle. I think because of how encompassing it is, how involved it is in day to day. I think it does become a lifestyle. It's not a lifestyle job. That's like owning a golf shop. You're a golfer, and so you open a lifestyle business, which would be a golf shop. That that's a little different, but you know, accepting that what we do on a day to day basis is our lifestyle because it's different than my wife. You know, it's so
I mean, it is kind of a lifestyle. I mean, it's a lifestyle that I've chosen. I mean, I dress I dress the way I want to dress. I don't feel like I'm not being a square peg in a round hole or anything like that. I get to do what I want. I run the business that I want. I eat where I want. I drive the kind of car that I want, and it's it all. If you see me on the street, just because I'm wearing the prime real estate shirt, you can kind of tell I'm a realtor sometimes by the way I act, the way I talk, and I'm not afraid to talk to anybody on the street at this point because everybody is a potential client unless you're 18 years old and can't buy a house. So it is a lifestyle, like Jessica says. So go back to your point. We don't have to do a 40-hour work week to have a work-life balance. As long as we are happy in our lifestyle.
hey, hold on, stop, hold on. Bill Crane's here. Say hi, Bill
Hi, Bill
Crane.
Crane. Bill Crane's in the house, buddy.
Nice. Bill Crane has the ultimate. He has the life work balance where he does a little bit of work too because his life is so amazing. Oh, look, you offended him. You offended him, Dave.
How did I offend him?
Uh, yeah. I just, like I said, I
Bill
don't
Crane
think
feels like a
I don't
sin
think
that
it's
I've
about
had.
40 hours a week. I don't think it's about a schedule. I think because of the way we can communicate, it's doing business has changed completely, and real estate is by far one of the most fluid ones, I think, that of the industries that are out there.
Yeah, because
I
we
agree,
can do anything.
Jessica.
If we're not prospecting, listing, negotiating, or showing a buyer a house, we can do whatever the hell we want to do that time, that downtime. Just as long as we understand, if we're not doing the four principles, we're not getting paid.
Yep. So, I mean, Ron, are you working a very specific system? Are your days, when you are at work, are they very structured? Monday at 10, Tuesday at 11, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever that is. Are you doing? Do you have a system in place that is allowing you to work those shorter days and weeks?
Hey Ron, if you check your Facebook email, I gave you a link to join the discussion.
Bill Crane. I think we should have Bill Crane on. He could give
I can
away
only, I can only have three on at a time.
what?
That's the Be Life
That's it?
system.
You got the menage a trois plan?
Well, that's the only plan they have.
Oh, just a three-way, huh? That's
That's the more you'll ever see.
No kidding. No kidding.
I had to write that down. I wanted to write that down. Ron's tips. The 4 things we
Ron,
need to be doing every time.
look at that. You guys, see, this is you've learned something. This is like being a psychologist. You're really here hoping to learn something new. All right, so check out what Ron's doing every day, 8 to 11 lead gen. Is that Ron? So you're doing eight to 11 lead gen every day. Is that phones turned off? You're not checking email. You're not doing anything. You don't do it. You don't even look. Appointments from 1 to 3. Perfect. Then go home. That's a. That sounds like some fake guru job. It's like the holy grail of being how real estate's supposed to work.
Ron's a banger. He's got three. The $3 dialer going on or the $6 dialer. He stands while he calls. He shuts the door. He's out making. He makes the calls. How many calls have you made in your lifetime, Ron, or in 1 year? I think he made like 20,000 calls in 1 year, or something like that. It's an ungodly amount of number. But
Holy
he's closing
crap!
160. He's closing 160 this year so far. He's built a name for himself in South Chicago.
I love it. I love it. That's great.
I think I've got to get to the same. I made 12,000 calls in 1 year. That's what it was. But it's still an astronomical number. 12,000 calls in 1 year. Could any of us say we made 12,000 calls in our lifetime at this point?
Hey, Ron, of those 12,000 calls, what do you think the percentage of people that are intentionally mean to you when you call them? Like, annoyed, don't worry, that's not what I'm talking about. Like, that's fine. But, like, they're legitimately mean back to you when you, I mean, is it 10%? 1,000? Is
Did
it
any of them
20?
make you cry?
What's that?
Because Andrew's a crier. Did any of them make you cry? Because Andrew's a crier.
Yes, a little bit, little bit. Yep. So, I mean, if work-life balance, let's go back to a 40-hour work week. So let's say, you know, you take 40-hour work week. Let's say make $25 an hour, $50 an hour. Now you're limited. Is your lifestyle life balance, you know, in line with what you want? And granted, I'll bet $50 an hour, 40 hours a week is more money than a majority of real estate agents make. But like, how come they don't take that shift and go, okay, this isn't working, and go get a job making 40 or 50 grand a year? Like, what is it? Is it the lifestyle that Jessica talks about? Is it
It's I think most of them, it's like in our area, the average realtor closes one a month or one a quarter, and it's just because it gives them something to do. It gives the lifestyle for them gives them something to do, go to, because they're 55, their husbands are in their retirement, they retire, they quit, their kids are out of school. And I'm sorry, I was reading Bill Crane's comment.
Yep.
And so Ron and Bill are pulling out their who's got the biggest one at this point.
Ron, I think that's the same idea of why real estate agents do marketing on billboards. They just happen to have too much money in their marketing budget, so they figured they would throw it away. It's freaking funny. That's hilarious.
But isn't the average agent just working to work at this point? I mean, when I say the average agent, who's 55 and over, she's female, she had nothing better to do with her time, so she's just working to work at this point. So she's achieved work-life balance. She'll be home every night to make sure her husband's fed or their significant other's fed. And I'm not trying to be sexist or anything like that. What, Mary? I just told her that So turn on the sexism. But that's the average. That's the average realtor right now.
I don't
But
know,
they've
man.
achieved work-life balance.
I think the average agent in San Diego, I think, is closing 5 deals a year. You know, the mega agents in San Diego are doing 150 to 200, and
Holy cow!
that's kind of skewed. And there's 22,000 licensed agents, you know, in a city, in a county with 3 million people. No, so I don't know. I don't know. How's that work?
How
It's
does
just
that
makes me
work? So
wonder.
what's your MLS dues, or what's your MLS dues?
I think MLS dues are $1,000 or so, maybe when it's all
That's
said
not
and
much.
done,
I wish
1,100.
ours. I wish ours was $1,000 a year.
Yours is more, huh?
No, it's less.
Oh, yeah.
I wish it
That's
was
a
more.
shocking thing. Like, why are these guys paying that at 5 deals a year? And even if you're on a team, that means you need to do 10 deals a year. You know, to do the same as the average. You know, but if you're higher than if you do more than 5 deals a year, you'd be considered a good agent, which is, I don't know, it's kind of weird. You know.
I think one of our next guests in the next couple weeks is gonna be Ron Wexler. Whether he knows it, whether he likes it or not, he's gonna have to be a guest.
It's a good idea. It's a good idea. I, I honestly think work-life balance, ideally, is about, it's about being happy, about enjoying your life. And if you're like Jessica and you enjoy the lifestyle of a real estate agent, why turn it off? Why turn off something that you like?
And I'm going to agree with you to an extent on that, but I would like to be able to go at some point. Go, okay, 9 to 5, I'm done. I'm done at 6, but someone else is going to go show my buyers the houses for me. And come Saturday, Sunday, I'm not working because I don't have to work on Saturday, Sundays anymore.
Yeah, and that's
And
when,
I'm with you, Jessica. I'm still not happy with my production. I'm not happy with how much I'm doing this year. I'm really not happy with how much I'm doing this year. I wasn't happy with how much I did last year. I'm really not happy with how much I'm doing this year. And I'll guarantee you
and,
something else. I bet you I won't be happy with how much I did next year either.
so what's the one thing that you could change to, is it adding a body, adding an admin, adding a buyer's agent? You know, is it
I
spending
think it's
money,
truly adding a schedule at this point.
a
But
schedule?
the way my personal life is going right now with my parents, and until this house gets done, I don't have a schedule that's a set schedule anymore. Because tomorrow at this point I'll take my daughter to school. I'll go to the office, and at 2 o'clock I got to be at my mom's house for a conference call. For I'm not going to go into it, but it's gonna be kind of, I've got to get on a conference call with her. And then on Wednesday I'm taking her to chemo. Now I got a laptop. I can work from anywhere. I can work from anywhere that has a Wi-Fi connection. But still, yeah, you really can't get into a groove sitting in the chemo room in Westville making calls when I get when I get my mom sitting next to the left of me, and I can't get into a groove of marketing or anything like that because I just feel like you just can't.
And I'm not discounting your struggle, and it's sad. I'm dealing with something very similar with my mom and her stroke and all that. But aren't you describing that you have work-life balance by being able to adjust your schedule and your work to fit your life into it?
But the only way I have that right now is because my wife is works full time. If I
Yeah,
didn't have that,
we're in a world that the average person has 2 to 3 jobs. I mean, if you look at, especially if we're looking at hourly jobs, that 40-hour week, people are working 40-hour week at one job. They generally have two. So even someone in an hourly basis like that is working 40, 60, 65, 70. It's just because life is expensive now. That's the hard part.
I froze again. Sorry, I heard you. It's, right, Ron and Bill both hit the nail on the head. They both hit the nail on the head. There you go.
Yeah.
When life is unpredictable, a schedule saves you. You're absolutely right. I know my schedules. I know my schedule is for the next 2 days. I know exactly what my schedule is the next 2 days.
I'll tell you, if you let's say that's the fix all for, I don't know, call it half of real estate's failing agents, or that are doing subpar or average. You give them a schedule that works. The the idea of believing that it works, the idea that if I can be like Ron and prospect 8 to 11, and maybe I don't see a lead, and then I didn't get my appointments at 1, 2, or 3 on Monday, and I go back on Tuesday and I call 8 to 11, and I got an appointment. Great. Wednesday, no appointments. Thursday, no appointments. Friday, I got one appointment. But by doing the work and going home, I don't think the average agent could mentally deal with that, even though in the sporadic way that real estate agents work, they're doing the same thing. They turn on the work for 5 minutes, and then they turn off and goof off for 45. Back on for 15, off for 45. All of a sudden, it's 9 o'clock at night, and the wife or the husband's pissed. But the idea, so when I had my sales business, and when we were selling sports equipment, my partner, had the same schedule for 9 years before we teamed up and built our business. In the 7 years we had our business together, he kept that exact same schedule. For me, I didn't have that, but I was constantly chasing the dollar, because if the products we sold, if I couldn't ship it or you couldn't buy it, I'd have no reason to go talk to you. So while he would do his loop, wherever he'd go, he'd be done. I saw my 7 shops. I'm done for the day. That was his work day. He was 1099, could have done whatever, very similar to us. For me, I worked in the same amount of time, but I was like this, like wherever the money took me, and it just, I don't know why. There's no way that I could just mentally go and see somebody knowing they can't buy anything. It didn't work for me.
But you kind of made a point there, whether you meant to or not. I had a friend who was to try to be self-employed for quite a few years, but he never could, because he never could. Every day was play day. He can never set a schedule. He can never keep a schedule. He can never keep a deadline. He blew every deadline that we ever had.
Yep.
And it's funny, at some point, I had to force him out of the business because we were falling behind, because I got to take my kid to the hospital or to the doctor. I think they can take my kid to the Little League practice. That's bullshit. It's, but you haven't done your work for the day, because you were playing tag with your kid at noon instead of working on things that I was working on. So he didn't have a work-life balance. His work-life balance is he had more life than work, because I was carrying the workload for him. So
what year was that?
God, it had to be 08, 09.
Okay, so we had pretty similar technology. It might have been slower and bigger and clunkier, but you could still see. I think the idea of having we used to have, even only until a few years ago, I think Maribel was assigned an iPad. Now she has an iPad and a little desktop, folding 13-inch. But she had a work computer, and that's where all the work stuff was. So you had to stay there, or you didn't get to work on it. Now, unfortunately, I think, and she probably hates it, but she can log on and get stuff done at home. Sometimes she gets to do it an extra hour here or there. But I think, now that we have that opportunity to go and, sit in the chemo room and try and get as much done, or, versus I've got to only be at the office. I think that's where, I think things like that are what's kind of skewing this line of what's work-life balance.
I had a point there and I lost it. Oh, Hutnick says something here pretty interesting. Everything but having your wives get licensed. at some point, I know how your wife got licensed,
No.
but at some point, my wife's going to have to get licensed to inherit my business.
Oh, makes
It's
sense, I
it's going to
guess.
have to happen. If I have a team in multiple states, which is one of my goals, to have a team here and team in Florida. I mean, I think we should have to be licensed. So, but at some point, she's got what's it? Fellowship in Natural Sciences of America. If I'm saying it right.
Is that your religion?
No, that's what she's an actuary, but she's achieved her fellowship in the Casualty Actuarial Society of America, which is the equivalent of having your doctorate of mathematics. So she can blow everybody out of the water when it comes to brains. Hence why she married me. We have no clue. I think she's questioning it right now, as a matter of fact.
Well,
But at
they
some
say
point, she would have to
opposites
get licensed.
attract, so maybe that's why. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know.
the smart one
I
dates the
think
dumb one.
time management is a huge problem um, with agents coming into this market, into this business, and it's mainly because they are coming in with the mindset of I'm getting a new job, I'm getting a real estate license, and I get to work in real estate. They're not grasping that they are starting their own small business, and it's 100% on them.
You're absolutely right. So is that your last word? That's your last word, and I have no last word other than that. So, are you planning on dying on the job? I plan on dying at some point in the next 5 years. I'm kidding. Anyway, did you guys like my new glasses? I got new glasses. I look pretty sharp in them. I know. Thank you for saying so. But I
Yeah,
appreciate you all tuning in, and maybe we'll get Ron Wexler and Bill Crane on here in the next couple of weeks. I'll talk to both of them over the next couple of days. And next week's show is no clue. If you guys have an idea of what you guys want to do for next week's show, just put it in the show notes, and I will gladly consider it. If not, so stay tuned for next week.
I think we
I
should
am
have
David
Valerie
Woodson.
on. I think you guys should talk about agent broker relationships.
What do you say to that, Val? You up for wine with Woodson? I'll let her answer some other time.
All right, sounds good. Dave,
On that
catch
note,
you during the week. I
you guys got
got
any questions, feel free to email me, dwoodson@gmail.com. Call me 219-872-8000. Until next week, I appreciate you tuning in, and we'll talk to you all very, very soon.
See you guys. Talk to you later, Dave.
See you, buddy. Call my mom real quick. Yes, the plan.